Hello everyone, and welcome to Digital Diversity Streams. It's Sunday, the 10th of May. Gosh, this year has been part of many years, and gosh, hey Draz, how you doing? We're doing a one dev feature today. We are going to be playing through the wonderful games of Caelyn Sandel, also named as Inurashi on Twitter, and we're gonna play a bunch of these, and we're gonna go. Yeah, you're doing some drawing. It's a day. Hey Tangled, how you doing? So we've got 4 games today. See how many we get through. I have no idea how many of these we'll get through today, but I'm really excited to play them. They are all story games, of course. We are very focused on stories in this space. They all look to be very different stories, and I got them all part of a bundle which they are currently running on itch. So if you will get the link and everything. Hey Bob, yes, the hair, I'm really working on the side shape lately. Feels good to like seriously get. I like the wavy at the bottom. I wasn't expecting to enjoy that so much, but I'm enjoying it. How is everyone doing? Are you all in good spaces? Things are rough in this world right now, but we are in a safe space, in this very gay, very safe space. In this together, I have a very large Mothra energy drink and a box of my favorite chocolates in the world. I went and got them today, and so I'm going to be treating myself, and I hope you all will be treating yourselves as well if you can, at least finding a safe space for yourself. So let's chill, let's get into a good space while I figure out which of these games we're going to be playing first. There are quite a few of them. As always, content warnings for today's stream. There are a few, so I will be bringing this up between each game. We have 4 games today. Let me just bring up these warnings. There we go. Vivant Ludi game contains references to harassment, transphobia, dysphoria, death threats, and video games. You can also neglect the fish, but the fish lives because he's a trooper. Skeleton Key contains well-telegraphed, easily skippable, lovingly described sex scene. Also has abstract description of, again, telegraphed and avoidable gory violence, so we're probably going to be skipping those. Traveller, I could not find any content warnings on this, so I think we should be okay. And Basement contains death, blood, dismemberment, and implied invasive surgery, so we'll see how that one goes. That's okay, Bob. It's wonderful having you here, as always. So, folks, you know the way it goes. You see a problem, you can let us know, or you can step back. There's no problem with stepping back in the face of heavy content. So let's chill out with a little bit more music, and then we will get ourselves rolling. We're just going to get ourselves into a good space. Good space today. What do we got? Let's do Cubby. Let's do my wonderful that I got. You're relaxing this week? Back in making visual novel? Which visual novel are you working on this time? A really gay visual novel. Of course. Always very gay visual novels with you. Hey Onyx! So yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff. I am thankfully taking this coming week off to deal with mental health stuff because fuck. But it does mean that we will be recording the next episode of the Digital Diversity Podcast this week with our very own Maddie and Allison, with our wonderful game jam queen, Drazia Allison, and I am so excited for that one. So yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a good time, and that's the idea. We're gonna have a good time. If we have to talk about heavy stuff, we have a good time doing it. That's how we do things around here. All right, just making sure we're all good. And then we'll pick a game. Pick a game. What are we gonna pick? What are we gonna pick? I think we'll leave Basement for last, because that looks like the heaviest content. So we'll probably start with Traveler. So let me go through a list. We've got Traveler. We've got at least one point-and-click adventure game, which... so we'll probably go Traveler, Skeleton Key, Vivant Ludi, and then Basement. So we'll go through, we'll see how much we can do. Today is not for pushing ourselves. We're just gonna do things as best we can in the safest way we can. I hope you're all doing well. I really do hope you're all doing well. It's been a rough time. It's been a rough time of late, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're all working together. All right, I need caffeine. I don't know about you folks, but I need caffeine. The first sip is always the best. Confirmed. All right. Wait till the song's over, and then we'll roll into our first game of the day. Got some CWs. One last check at them. First game, I don't believe has any content warnings, but you know, if something pops up, we will deal with it when it pops up. Do that. We'll drop these out. Got that there, and I think we're ready to go. Are we ready? I'm ready. You're ready? Let's do this thing. The first game for today is Traveler. Might have to zoom in a little. There we go. Gotta get the voice running. It's been a few weeks. You know, it's been a few. Gosh, it's been a while since I did visual novels, so heavy reading is gonna take a toll. Here we go. You're a little disoriented. What were you doing? Blinking, you look outside. Tiny dots of light piercing through a pitch black veil as far as your eyes can see. You adjust the field of view, feeling as though you used to be able to see farther than this. Your efforts, however, are to no avail. The stars all seem impossibly far away. You can't shake the feeling that you are out here for a reason. If only you could dredge up a memory of what that reason was. How strange. Traveler. A short, long story. You consult your maps against the pattern of stars spread before you, but none of them match what you see. The constellations are unfamiliar, and you can't hear anything except the low hum of your own engines. You're lost in space and on your own. Lacking any other option, you set a course for what seems like the nearest star. A short, long story, or 2020, the movie. Gosh, it feels like that. It feels like every month is a short, long story. This is already, it's in my scene, so we're good. You pick one point of light and engage your star drive, speeding towards your destination too quickly to process. Light from the stars stretches into long lines as they streak past your vision. As your star drive disengages, you find yourself in an unfamiliar system. This system's sun, a red dwarf-class star, shines from the system center. A tiny dual-color planet of silver and green hangs a short flight away. If you can enter the planet's orbit and get a closer look. Otherwise, you might as well leave the system. Well, we didn't come all this frickin' way just to leave. So we're gonna enter the planet's orbit. You sit comfortably in the tiny planet's gravitational pull. Textured land masses of silver jut from the oceans of green liquid. Around the planet, two moons circle, one purple, the other cyan. I love this planet. We're moving to this planet. It sounds amazing. Let's remotely analyze the planet's atmosphere. You're disappointed to find that the atmosphere of the planet is lousy with dangerous particulate. No human would survive on this surface for long. Okay, so giant monsters are fine. We're okay with monsters. Let's listen for any communication signals. You listen carefully for any signals, checking for every kind of remote signal you know. After a few minutes, you're disappointed at your failure to detect even the faintest communication signal. Ah well, life in space is probably rare, right? Still, it'd be nice if you could find out where you came from, since you don't seem to remember. Hey, how you doing? Descend to the planet's surface. You're nervous about this idea. A lot of systems aren't working correctly, especially your impulse engines. They're strong enough to get you in and out of planetary orbit, but they might not be able to task you of getting off the surface. If you're going to descend, this planet might be your new and permanent residence. Ooh, probably not a good idea then. Like, this is a place where we can't survive. I'm not gonna go full Space Quest on this. No, we're good. Not now. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Let's leave the planet and find somewhere a little more hospitable. Doing good. Doing watercolor painting. You're gonna need more canvases at this rate. All right, let us. Oh, your system's display suddenly catches your attention, even though it seems to have been flashing for something for a while. Short-range sensors online. Long-range sensors damaged. Impulse engines limited. Star drive online. Auto repair limited. RAM limited. Data storage error. Communications array online. Connection quality no signal. Energy 91%. Oh dear, that seems bad. You think about your siblings. You had siblings, you're pretty sure. Where could they be now? You think about your mission. You were out here for a reason. You think it had something to do with some kind of mission. You have equipment that detects things, like atmosphere and communication signals. Perhaps you were a surveyor. Let's leave the system. With a surge of power from the star drive, you break orbit and escape the solar system, leaving the red dwarf far behind you. When you believe a few minutes later you are in deep space again, you reel slightly, feeling disoriented. You're surrounded by a vast expanse of stars all alike. Discerning from whence you came and where you might be headed seems impossible. Hey Kara, how you doing, friend? Not much to do out here, but pick a star at random and head towards it. Your system display continues to flash. Your headache? Yeah, fair enough. Let's head towards it. You pick a point of light and engage your star drive, speeding towards your destination too quick to process. Light from the star stretches into long lines, they streak past your vision. As the star drive disengages, you find yourself in an unfamiliar system. Oh, it's another red dwarf star. It's a medium planet. Nearby, its surface marked with purple, carmine, and orange. If you'd like, you can enter the planet. Let's have a look at this. This one sounds pretty. Let's enter this one. Great purple continents rise from carmine seas, huge clouds of orange scudding over them. Around the planet, 2 moons circle, one yellow, the other purple. Atmosphere. Can't leave that. Scan it. Nope. Okay. We're gonna find another goddamn planet. How's our systems? 71%. Okay, we're gonna have to be careful with that. We're running out of energy. Okay, let's leave the system. Deep space. We're gonna head towards another planet. The system's sun, a yellow dwarf class star. Oh, I appreciate you too. I appreciate all of you. You're wonderful. A medium grey planet is close enough to your orbit. Yeah, let's have a look at the grey planet. Sounds boring, but it'll do. The arid surface is grey all over. No clouds or oceans to obscure the view. Oh great, we found a lump of rock. You're disappointed to find the atmosphere of the planet is unbearably thin. Any signals? Nope. Okay. You can take a rest by starlight if you think you need to. No, we're gonna do one more. Oh god, come on, we've got to find a planet. We've got to find somewhere we can live. I think. Another red dwarf. A tiny dual color planet of magenta and green hangs a short flight away. Let's have a look. I'm very tired. Okay. Textured landmass of magenta jut out from oceans of green liquid. Around the planet, 2 moons circle, one white, the other black. 2 oxygen poor. Okay. So it's like bearable. Like, it's not great. Communications? Nope. Alright, let's take a rest by starlight. You shut your eyes, unfold your wings, and bask in the warm glow of the star. In only a few minutes, you drift into a calm slumber. You wake to feel more energized. Time to decide what to do. Oh god, what's our system display like? %. Okay, so resting seems to return some energy. Okay, we're obviously like, we've got some level of solar power on this thing. Holy shit, this, I love this. It's like the next technical step down from objects in space. Where it's just like, let's make it more and more basic and do exploration, and I really like this. Alright, let's leave and find another planet. Come on, we've got to find something. Alright, what do we got? Another red dwarf, medium indigo planet close enough for you to orbit. Let's have a look. Arid surface is indigo all over, and it has a single yellow moon. You're starting to feel discouraged. It seems like there aren't any inhabitable planets in this corner of the universe. Well, we haven't got that many more planets to check. Only a few 100 trillion. After a few minutes, you're disappointed your fellow detective in the slightest. You know it's a long shot to expect signs of life in deep space, but you're nevertheless becoming a bit disillusioned. That's okay. Let's gotta find something. Think of it. You think that's what it was. You were a scout. You were sent out here to explore and map, but you can't map anymore. You think about your home. You try to dredge up memories of your home planet. Your home planet had a breathable atmosphere. Your home planet had blue oceans and green land and white clouds. You wish you could remember more about it. Come on, we gotta find something. Let's head towards another one. Another red dwarf, small 2-time planet of grey and brown. Oh, great. Grey spheroid is striped with brown atmospheric gases. You see dark spots in the geometric shapes on the planet's surface. I wonder if they could be human-built megacities. Ooh. Disappointed to find the atmosphere is extremely hot. No human would survive on its surface for long. How about communications? No. We're not going down there. That seems scary. Okay, we're going to leave the system. Come on, there's got to be something here. I think there was music on this one as well. Alright. You gotta find something here. What do we got? We'll have to one more before we have another rest. Hang in distant orbit from a rare supergiant star, larger than some galaxies. Someday this star will go supernova and become a black hole, though not for a long time by your perspective. Let's have a rest. Rest by supernova. You unfold your wings and bask in the glow of the old star. You have strange and fascinating dreams. Adapt. Stutter. Love. You wake up feeling peculiar but completely refreshed. Did you always dream? You don't think so. You return your attention to the dying star. Let's move on. Actually, what's our system display? We've had a rest. Okay, we've gotten enough solar power to be able to keep going. Gotta find something here that's... I'm wondering if there is actually somewhere like habitable. Yellow dwarf star, tiny planet, yellow, blue, and black. Great yellow continents rise from blue seas, huge clouds of black scudding over them, dark spots here and there. And it's extremely cold. Fantastic. Gosh. Communication signals? Nope. Think about your siblings again. They weren't like Mother. They only talked to you when you were nearby. You have a feeling that they're all gone. Come on, we've got to find something habitable. Possibly. A blue giant class star. A large bronze planet is close enough for you to orbit. Its arid surface is bronze all over. A single orange moon. Thin atmosphere, fantastic. No signals. I'm starting to think that we're going to have to just land and see what happens. If we don't find anything soon, we're just going to land on whatever seems interesting at the time. How about that? We're going to go full on No Man's Sky on this. So let's have a look. A tiny fuchsia planet is close enough to you to orbit. Let's have a little rest first. You have strange and beautiful dreams. Land. Love. Left? You wake up feeling more energized. Yes, so am I. Like, I think they were gonna jump in and say hi if they were around. So if they do pop in, well, we definitely need to ask if these are all pre-planned, because I'm really curious too. Because there's a lot going on here, so I'm really curious to see like what's going on here. Okay, serves a fuchsia all over, dark spots here and there, single carmine moon. I mean, it sounds pretty. Too hot. No, not my fan. I'd rather somewhere too cold than too hot. We're gonna find somewhere else. Leave the system. Tiny yellow planet. Arid surface. We're not landing on a yellow planet. That just sounds dirty. Yeah. Nothing. Okay, we're gonna do. What do you think? 3 more planets. We will definitely land on the 3rd one if we cannot find anything interesting in the next 2. How about that? We'll have a little rest. Oh, we can't rest yet. How's our system display? I like this. Ooh, gods. Okay, we're running out of power. We can't rest yet, so we're gonna leave. Okay, we're gonna think about your siblings again. You remember now. Mother let you know as each of your siblings passed. You felt sad, but not like you feel now. Feeling things was different then. Alright. We'll see how we go. Red giant, dual colored planet of carmine and yellow. Let's have a rest. Recharge our batteries. Textured landmass of carmine jut from orange oceans of yellow liquid. 2 moons circle, 1 fuchsia, the other gold. I mean, it sounds really pretty. It's very cold. How's our system display? I'm curious how much of it is just keep going and keep going. I think that's probably how it's all based. It's like you keep going, you learn more about who you are. Alright. You don't think you were ever meant to go this far out. Whatever your mission was, it's safe to assume it's over. Alright, head towards it. Alright, this is number 2. Carmine planet. Arid surface is carmine. 1 red and 1 chartreuse moon. Oof, I mean, it's oxygen poor, but it's like... Think about your mother. You miss your mother. You try to send out a communications ping, but there's no response. You feel like you could always reach her, but now you can't. Fucking mood. Alright, we're gonna rest. You have strange and beautiful dreams. Land. Empty. This feels very RNG. I'm really loving what it's doing. Let's bug off, and we'll check one more planet. We have to land on the next one. Think about your home again. Did you ever see home from the ground? You feel like you never saw that green land up close. We have wings too. That's interesting. What have we got? Red dwarf, a large planet of cyan, purple, and magenta. It seems very pretty. All right, what's our status? 65%. I think this is pretty. Let's have a look. Great cyan continents rise from purple seas. Huge clouds of magenta scudding over them. Around the planet, a single blue moon traces a lonely orbit. Okay, we got to land on this one. This one's just too pretty not to. What's the atmosphere? 2 oxygen poor. Don't care. Well, we bring our own ship, we'll be fine. We'll work it out from there. Any communication signals? Nope. We land here. It's too pretty not to. Oh, look who it is. It's the person who wrote this. It's a lot of words and it's good. Tell us about this. Like, all of this is RNG, right? Like, every encounter, every dream, every planet, they're all randomized, right? I'm loving it. I'm loving this, how it's telling something very simple and very beautiful. Planets are randomized. I think we land on this one. We've gone to like, we've got to have gone to like 30 of them now. I think we have to land. Descend to the planet's surface. Very mildly procedurally generated. Most of it's just dice rolls. I mean, dice rolling is procedurally generating, I guess. Descend to the gay planet. You're nervous about this idea. A lot of systems aren't working, especially your impulse engines. They're strong enough to get you in and out of planetary orbit, but they might not be up to the task of being the surface. If you're going to descend, this planet might be your new and final permanent residence. Do it. Land. I know there's 2 bits of audio, I'm just not sure which one should be playing. There's definitely a couple of audio tracks here. Right now it's engine noise? Ah. There we go. Twine always seems to have really interesting questions when it comes to like how it plays music, so we'll see how we go. Stealing your nerves, you close your eyes and dive. The air feels hot around you. You feel your system shudder as you burn through the atmosphere. Soon, the pain becomes too much, and you black out. I've got this running on... oh, okay. I've got this running in Chrome. That explains. We'll run everything else through Firefox then. And there's the other track. You're not sure how long it takes you to wake up, but you do wake up, rising into consciousness like swimming through tar. You try to take stock of your broken, still body, and you find you cannot see. You try to force your eyes open, but they seem to be broken. For a moment, you consider succumbing to despair, but you don't. You pour every ounce of willpower you possess into your eyes, trying to force them into functionality through sheer force of desire. At first, it seems nothing happens. But then with a pop, one of your senses comes online. Everything's a blur, but you can make out smears of colour. The cyan earth, the purple sky with magenta clouds floating above, a shore with purple water lapping against it. A moment later, your sense of smell comes back and you take in the atmosphere. A human couldn't live here. But you can. You can fix yourself. You can adapt. You can make it home. There is hope. That's really sweet. Fuck. You got the leap of faith ending this time. Would you like to play again and maybe play a different ending? That's so sweet. Gosh. Like, I love it. Yeah, the music on this is perfect. That was a really nice start. It was a beautiful way to start this off. So yeah, that was Traveler. So all the games that I am playing today, you can get in a bundle. This is how I got it. There is a story games bundle. I will just put that link up here. There you go. Wow. If you want to get these games, go grab the bundle. All 4 of them are there today. And hey, tip your game devs. They deserve it. So, that was really sweet. That was... Your brother wrote and performed the song? That's sweet. So this is a kind of experience I really love. It's just a continuous feel this space, live through memories and talk about memories and who you are and what's going on. I really love this sort of thing. So A+, A+ on that one. So let's jump to the next game. We've got a bunch of games to play. So let us let the very game dev themselves decide what we're playing next. So what are we going to play next? So we've played Traveler. I think we'll leave Basement for last. So we've got 2 other options. We've got Vivant Ludi and Skeleton Key. We'll do those because Basement seems a little heavy, so we might do that one last. Skeleton Key's the big one. Okay, let's do Vivant Ludi. Sounds good. Can breeze through it. Nice. All right. So content warnings are there. Let's jump to it, and I'm gonna get this running. And give me a sec. Give me a sec. Let's go. Vivant Ludi is also the only one that I can launch through Itch, the Itch launcher, so that makes me happy. VL is kind of a period place. Okay, front piece, yeah. Wow. Let's restart that. Display capture, game window. Oh gosh, that should be an experience. All right, there we go. I didn't sleep well. I've got 5 days to finish my game if I want to get paid this month. Got a point and click adventure. Ooh, it's got music. Got some music. Do I have to? Yeah. You wrote this in AGS? Nice. Alright, so what do we got? We got an inventory bar up the top. I want to make an adventure game with someone one day. I want to make a really positive, like, I go to bed. It's too early to go back to bed. Making my bed every morning helps my mind feel less disoriented. You know what? I'm gonna have a chocolate. Because I can. I think that's the thing. Maybe I need to make my next game an adventure game. Alright. That chocolate looks like something lewd. I'm not going to eat that one. It's very easy to learn. I should try it. I need to find someone to make something with. We got a lamp. It's my torture lamp. This room doesn't have an overhead. God, a room without an overhead lamp? Checks. Checks from part-timing, some months old. I should file these. I guess I have to buy something to file them in first. I already cached them. We got a computer. We're gonna make games in BASIC. Oh, by the way, folks, don't know if you all heard. Thimbleweed Park, the game made by Ron Gilbert and David Fox, who did Maniac Mansion and Monkey Island and a bunch of other LucasArts games, recently did a free mini game from the Thimbleweed Park line, which you can get on Steam and Epic and everything else like that. So I gotta check that one out soon. We got a fish! My fish Biscuit! I haven't fed him yet today. Let's feed the... Can we feed the fish? I should feed Biscuit. Here you go, buddy. So excited. Being a fish sure is simple. Get fed, float around. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a fish tank. I wish people would stop banging on the glass. Fuck. Mum got this tea set years ago. I've used it like once. Got some books. I've had to get rid of so many at my last place. I could read for a bit. Should I? No, let's not read. We got stuff to do. Another time. Got more books. We got a door that we can... Oh, can we leave? Let's check out the computer first. It's my computer. Do something useful. Check email. Nothing urgent. Check bank balance. 245. I'll make rent this month, but only if I release this game on time. Money stuff. Work on game. Start my game work today. Not yet. Let's not start yet for the day. Let's find out what else we can do. This is just really cute. Smartphone. I carry my phone with me. I mean, who doesn't? Bills. Gosh, bills. I feel my blood pressure going up just looking at these. Can't pay them. Stressing me out just thinking about them. Boxes I haven't unpacked yet. Don't have the time or energy to put these away. What's in the fridge? I should eat. Yes, you should. Hey folks, eat, drink, take your meds. Praise leftovers. Nom. Galley kitchen, pretty clean since I don't use it much. Bathroom. Should I use the bathroom? Let's have a shower before we like make things. All clean. Front door. Let's not go out. Let's make some game. Let's make some game. This is a true game dev experience. A game dev life simulator. Isn't that true? I mean, it seems about right, actually. Make game. Nose the grindstone. Is true, yeah. I barely got anything done. What a waste of time. Alright. Well, the fish is doing okay. I don't want to go outside. Got yelled at last week and my dysphoria is really bad right now. Can't think of going out there right now. Fucking mood. Let's do something fun. So if Day of the Tentacle taught me anything, we should be able to play one of Inuyashi's earlier games from inside the computer. That's how these things work, right? And Doom, you can play Doom inside of Doom. Was it? No, it was Wolfenstein and instead of Wolfenstein, wasn't it? Something fun. Should I use the computer? We're about to start a game of Traveller inside of Avant Ludi. I bet you. Let's have a let's... Oh god, let's not look... Hey Wraith, how you doing? Can we play Doom inside Day of the Tentacle? I mean... That sounds like an interesting challenge. I saw someone had installed Doom on one of like the tap transport card readers recently, and that makes me laugh so hard. Let's play a game. Let's work on building my undersea base. I'm doing okay today. Sandbox games are so meditative. So, underwater base. Were you playing Subnautica? Let's see, what else could you have played? Minecraft, I mean... Hey Jason, how you doing? You want to play Doom 2016 inside Doom 1993? Ooh, that sounds interesting. Can we keep making game? Nothing in email? If we believe it, we can do it, yeah. The trick is you've got to make a version of Doom 1993 that has the capacity to launch Doom 2016. Great, don't have energy to do any more of that. What else can we do? Let's chat with someone. Best friend / ex. Best friend that I haven't dated. Fuck, that's mood. A different friend. These are all good options. Let's do... You want to play Street Fighter 3 Third Strike inside Group Fandango? That's getting meta. We're getting serious about this now. Let's talk to best friend / ex. See if Quinn's around. Hey, you there? Hi, how's it going? Getting by, trying to get this game out the door. I'm rooting for you. Are those trolls giving you problems? Yeah. Stick with it. You do good work. Thanks. Talking to you helps. Oh, you should hear about this thing I saw online. Okay, I have to get back to work. Oh god, I have a feeling social media is going to be painful. Let's see what people said to me overnight. I guess everything terrible about games. That's good to know. Same old, same old. Okay, that's not too bad. All fed and happy. Alright, let's read. It's nice to reread my collection. I'm gonna redo the same. Let's see, we've eaten, we've had a shower, we've made game, we've rested. I think we probably... Let's go to bed for the day. We gotta... 4 days left to put polish on this game. I'm tired. I stayed up too late. I can't go on like this. Alright, feed fish, feed ourselves, have shower, work on game. These flakes are made of other fish. It's a fish eat fish world in there. And we'll have an early night tonight, so... Leftovers. This is really cute. Like... I'm loving this. And not just because... Point and click adventures are my jam. Oh, you can check the time on your phone. Okay. I forgot we had an inventory system. Early afternoon. Okay, let's make game. I didn't know we had a time limit. Alright. Useful. Make game. Some actions take time, others don't. Okay, so we look at that. Early evening. Alright, so we've eaten, we've showered. Let's have an early night. Three more days, work on the game. Can't go on like this. Okay, it's late morning. So we went to bed early evening and we slept till late morning. Alright. Oh, we've got to feed Biscuit on the way back. We're not starving the fish. Come on, gotta get this game out. Early in your career when you hadn't gotten the hang of community mechanics with players? I mean, it's something interesting. That's something you can find out. Alright, feed Biscuit. Here you go, buddy. Go get him, little guy. Do you ever get bored, Biscuit? Like, sometimes letting people find out mechanics for themselves is a lot of fun. Like, as something I like discovering new things, as long as they're not, like, obnoxiously over the top mechanics that you really need. Work on game. God, I gotta play Cut again, but holy crap, that game takes me so long to relearn every time I play it. For those who don't know, the dev for this wonderful game also works on Caves of Cud, and gosh, that game is so good. Fuck, it's just takes so much mental energy to learn how to play it, really, because there's just so much going on. All right, are we all good? How are we doing? Early evening. Let's check our emails. It's the best roguelike ever. It is the best roguelike ever. I'm really glad that there's, like, wasn't it recently that there's a no permadeath option or something like that, or where you can respawn or something? Because I always end up getting killed by, like, the first flaming baboon. Let's play a game quickly. Buried in the debug menu. Okay, that's fair enough. Alright, let's keep playing some Subnautica. Okay, we're playing Subnautica inside of Event Ludi. And if we look at the time, it's nighttime. Okay. We need, so if these games have taught me anything, I need to buy an alarm clock and set my wake up time as earlier. Because, yeah, it's always like morning. Feed fish. Eats his food, but not in a dish. Is he strong? No, he's a fish. Can he climb? No, he's a fish. Beware. Or don't, because he's just a fish. Adventures of Living Alone. Partial list. That thing I just did. Eat food. Clean self. I mean, this is also a really good, like, these sorts of games with very limited time for you to do activities is a beautiful example of, you know, the spoon theory. That's the spell slot theory, is that we only have a lot of people only have a certain amount of energy that they can put in a day, because they just don't have the ability to put out more. Like, things are too much. So going, okay, you have enough energy today to feed your pet, feed yourself, have a shower, and do a little work, and that's it. And that is a heckin' mood. Work on game. God, are we almost done? Barely got anything done. Yeah, you find the one that works for you. Yeah, trying to self-manage with mental illness, and I'm feeling that very much at the moment as well, because I'm going through, like, a lot of shit. But let's read. Hidden mood mechanic can be really hard early on. Yeah. Spell slot version. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've always been I've been a fan for quite a while of the spell slots version instead of spoons, because spoons you've got, like, so those who don't know the spoon theory is that when you're dealing with generally chronic illness, including mental illness, you have a certain amount of spoons you can use each day, and each activity uses a certain amount of spoons. But on any given day, an activity might require more spoons than that. And once you run out of spoons, you're done. You can't eat anymore. You can't use your spoons. The spell slot theory I prefer because it goes, this activity is a level 1 spell, i.e. feeding your cat. You know, you have a bunch of these. That's fine. You can go through those. Going to work might be a level 5 spell, which uses, you've got one of these big energy spells you can use a day, and that's it. If you have to go with that, you're not good anymore, and you dump it down like that. And I've always been a fan of that version more than the spoons because it's a little bit easier to picture. You go, okay, I've cast my level 5 for the day, I've worked, I've done my 8 hours, so I'm out of that. Assuming 5e would probably have a warlock amount of spell slots. Yeah, like... And then you just pick your class. You're like, okay, sorry, I put too many points into other things, so... Did we already make game? We already made game, didn't we? Paladin Warlock, would you have some long rest Paladin, some short rest Warlock slots? Okay, it's fair enough. Let's chat with someone. Cope points for years? Yeah. Yeah, quarantine, there's a thing, like, with isolation and quarantine and everything else like that, those spells are now jumped 1 level. And your rest periods have to be, your short rests now have to be long rests. So everything that was a level 1 spell is now a level 2 spell. And everything that was a level 5 spell is now a level 6 spell, which means you've probably had to sacrifice some earlier spell slots just to get to that. Let's chat with the best friend that I haven't dated. Ping! Hi, how's stuff? I'm a little down today, being a freelancer sucks. It's like that in my industry too. Tim said he helped support us if stuff goes dry, but I just couldn't. Understood. Sorry to complain, let's talk about something nice. It's not a problem, but sure. I love these friends are wonderful. Thanks for talking to me. I feel better. Me too. Hang in there. Alright. Trying to always go to bed at night time, not like early morning. Last day to polish. Let's make it count. Feel awful, but I've got work to do. Follow our routine. Use a spell slot. Do the next thing. Use a spell slot. And then use the big one. When you're a fish, you don't have deadlines. I guess that's not true. You gotta eat your food before it sinks to the bottom of the tank. Alright. We'll eat. You don't have time to shower today. No, we still gotta shower. Like... all clean. Alright. Last day to work on the game. Let's get this done. Let's get it out there. Work on the game. Wow, I barely got anything done. What a waste of time. Was I supposed to do that early in the day? Nothing urgent. Check social media. Let's see what people said to me overnight. Wow, an MS Paint chart detailing my connections to my friends, like it's a scandal. Same old, same old. Let's surf the web. Get into it, let's see what you've got. That was weirdly unfulfilling. Feels just like I wasted time. Alright, it's nighttime. First, I need to submit the game. I need to submit it as it is right now, but this really isn't finished. I don't want to release this, but I have to. Anyway, it's submitted. We'll see how people react in the morning. Raising your mood after working, which means you feel crappy when you start working. So I'm supposed to start working first thing in the morning. What have you got for me, internet? Barely made a splash. At least my friends will play it. Uh-oh, a random is mentioning me about the game. Produce yet another not game, the kind that receives press solely through nepotism and corruption. Uh-oh. Paving way to the future of video games, it's not gamers that are dead, it's games. Video games are dead, huh? Sure, why not? Ludo Morticidi, Vivant Ludi. I think I'll go to the park today. Ow! That was... Fuck. That was some mood. That was real. That was real. Okay. Get the beautiful messages at the end regardless how well you did in your game. Yeah, of course you did. Of course you do. Alright. We were going to do basement last because it's the heaviest content. So let's bring up Firefox because that should hopefully play the sound. Likely to be a lift? I'm glad. I'm so glad to finally be getting to your games. I've honestly had a bunch of them up on my hey Jeb. I've had a bunch of them up on my digital diversity curated list. So for those who don't know, I've actually got a list of games from the queer community because it's what we do. I put a few of these ones on there a while ago. I'm not sure how many of them. But if folks want to see it, it's up there. Just getting a ton of crappy messages so felt strangers first. Yeah, that's a mood. And I think I've got a few on there. I think I saw you talking about one with werewolves and stuff a while ago, so I know I added that one to the list. I'm not sure what else I put on there. I put Moonlight Moon Knight because I bought that one ages ago and I haven't played that one yet. So that's another one for later. So let's move on to the next one. That one isn't a game. So we play a bunch of kinetic novels around here. It doesn't have to be we're gonna end up in that discussion, are we? It's like, all right, serious talk, folks. Serious talk. Is a kinetic novel a game? Discuss. Oh, it's an ebook. Okay, that's fair enough. All right. I don't know. I saw it on there. I was like, I gotta get this. There we go. See, everyone's saying yes. It is. Deal with it. And the ends. I mean, it's still a visual novel, even if yeah, it's a novel. I mean, has anyone played Blood Pact? Holy crap! Like, that's just a that's just a story, but it's still damn good. What are we going? Skeleton key. Bob. And we're gonna dump this one off. Where is it? That one. And we want that one. You don't believe video games are real? That's fair enough. Is beer pong a type of ping pong or a type of table tennis? I don't know. I've never played it. I don't feel myself... Alright. Are we not going to get sound? You'll have to let me know if there's supposed to be sound on this one, because I know there's definitely sound. Like the Relic? Reading Paper Us novels and live stream is real game. Sound doesn't kick in yet. Okay. Alright, folks. Third game for the day. We are playing Skeleton Key. I think that's the full title. Is that full title? Is that full title? I can't remember. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. The Skeleton Key of Ambadi. This one does have some content warnings, but it looks like that's all avoidable, so we should be okay. All right, here we go. Are we ready? We're ready for... Yeah, we can skip all that stuff, and I like that. Thank you for putting that in. Also, A+ for the good content warnings. Well, we'll have to find out. Here we go. Do we need a voice for this one? Do we need a voice for this one? Yeah. It was an early afternoon on an unusually wild midsummer's day when I arrived on the outskirts of Rookland. I crested the hill and saw the town, little more than a few haphazard homesteads strewn across the valley below. It has been a long time, but faint light in my memory stirred. I began my walk down the great hill. I chose a careful path down the hill. As its grade became shallower, the grass grew more patchy and my undertrod path became a dirt road. I saw the first signs of life as I neared the field of crops. A dirty child, holding a stick poised to prod it against a nearby chicken. I caught his eye only 10 paces away. He snapped to attention. His face first showed feigned innocence at having been caught red-handed, then confusion as he failed to recognize my thin figure or dark face, then fear at being alone with a stranger, then curiosity at seeing a real outlander. Then his eyes lit on my pendant. Are you? Now I saw recognition in that little face. He'd heard stories. I nodded slowly. Go home, I demanded, my voice raspy from thirst and disuse. Tell of my arrival. He needed no further motivation, turning tail and running towards a cluster of homesteads. In only a few moments I heard his shouts echoing against the hill. She's here! The skeleton key is here! The skeleton key of Ambadi. An interactive fable by and about Abele Trammels, living scion to the skeleton key of Ambadi. Content warnings, because we have to. Blah blah blah. Inspired by this skeleton key. All music was arranged by author. Art and the content warnings, other content warnings: darkness, claustrophobia, corpses, graves, giant bees. Giant bees. I was not aware that there were going to be giant bees. Let me check. I copied the content warnings directly from the other one. Okay, the itch page does not mention giant bees. They're good bees? Transphobia, references to genocide, plague, poison. Nice bees. It's like giant bees. They're good bees, Brent. This $3 for 2020, and here's what we are. Yeah. The better. Fuck the bee puns. What have I done? We're all a buzz now. Oh, BTW, bees. Okay, folks, do people want to get the bee puns out now? Sorry, I just wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting suddenly, you know, here's a list of content warnings. By the way, bees. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry. Real dramatic reference. Real I love you, folks. I love you so much. Tell us the story. Come on. I stood by a field of maize and soybeans, lit by the gently descending sun and caressing of a gentle... God damn it, Jeb. I was just in the middle of reading that. We're fine. We're fine. Sorry, that's an old trick I learned when I was doing drama years and years ago in high school. Is just like stick a mood behind each pass. It's like just calm it down. And it works surprisingly well. To my north towered the hill I descended, the path back to Magician's Red. Drone think this is over. Fuck. These are the sort of jokes I expect from someone who's working on Caves of Cud. To the south, the homesteads of Rookland. Let's check out the homesteads. As I approached the village, I could see the inhabitants slowly emerging from their homes, attention fixed on me. None would recognize me, nor would I recognize them. But I'd been here before. I was back. I found myself at the north edge of the town of Rookland, near a pair of large but modestly designed houses. Each one was made of dark brown wood and roofed with stone shingles. Several other homesteads, similar construction, indicated that insofar as Rookland has residential district, this was it. I walked slowly among the homes of Rookland, away from the gaze of its inhabitants. Despite seeing no townsfolk, I had a strange feeling of being watched. I held still for a few moments, eyes scanning the pathways between the wooden houses. I thought I caught a glimpse of someone the way I'd come, but they slipped out of sight before I could identify them. I resumed walking. After some time, I returned to the road of North Rookland. On the porch of the nearest house, a woman in faded blue gingham dress watched me. The boy I met in the fields hid behind her skirts, and a younger girl waved at me. As I approached the gingham-clad woman, the chicken-bothering boy... God, that's how I'm remembering. That's their name now, Chicken Botherer. Shrank further behind her skirts. The enthusiastic little girl looked a bit intimidated too, after her wave faltered. Hey Kingyo, how you doing? You missed a lot of bee puns. There was so many bee puns. How you doing? The woman, their mother perhaps, seemed unfazed. She bowed upper body to me slightly, a gesture indicating cautious respect for a stranger. I returned it. Skeleton Key, she said by way of greeting. I'm Ellie. It is good to finally meet you. I was only a little girl the last time you were here. Yeah, everyone just waxed on about them forever. Like, I can't do a stream like this without expecting a bunch of people to start droning on about bee puns. There's purely a hive of laughter around here. See, I can hold it together. I can hold it together. In response, it's good to meet you, Ellie. What may I do for you, Skeleton Key? Ask about her son. The boy seems a curious one. Bobby's a bit of a troublemaker, Ellie admits, but he has a sharp mind about him. He'll do good things when he's grown. I don't doubt it. Ask about her daughter. The girl seems a brave one. Alice? Aye, she is. And has a knack for people. She'd make a fine elder someday, if you ask me. Perhaps so. Asked if she had work for me. Any work for me? I'm just a simple farmer. Why ask me? Everyone's got some place they want to be let in, I find. Ellie shook her head. I have a few locks in my life, and keys to all of them. I'm sure Jackson Ichabod will have something for you. Ellie offered me another short, cautious bow. I returned and stepped back to the road. To the south, to the centre of the village. As I broached the borders of the homesteads, I caught the eyes of a half-dozen townsfolk, watching from porches and windows. One broke from the herd, a middle-aged man with an expression of shocked disbelief on his leathery face. Ichabod! That is the face of someone who is not amused. Wow. He approached with one hand extended, perhaps unconsciously. Rose? He murmured. I shook my head. You must be Ichabod, I ventured. My mother had told me stories of a handsome man in Rookland who had wooed her once, unsuccessfully. Oh, he said, withdrawing his hand. You're little Adelaide, then. I replied, I've grown a bit, haven't I? Ah, Ichabod murmured. Yes, I am Ichabod, village magistrate now. My apologies for my mistake. You just look the same. I nodded. It's what they say. Well, you're welcome, skeleton key, Adelaide, he replied, bowing his head and spreading his hands. I bowed my head in response. I knew the customs here. Please make yourself at home. I will go to the inn and tell Janice to prepare your arrangements. Thank you, Ichabod. He turned away and left at a steady pace, soon disappearing into the door of the village's largest building. I turned my attention to Rookland Square. So, tell us a bit about this game. Tell us a bit about where you started with this and how it all came to you. Is this just a story you wanted to tell, or something from that had popped up and something you'd wanted to work on for a while? Originally rated for a game jam called Shuffle Comp. Rookland Square was just as I remembered it. A spacious clearing with a great monument topped with a weather vane in the centre. To my west was what appeared to be a general store, likely the only such fixture in town. A bit south of the store was a narrow, tall building with an insect painted in thick strokes above its door. I could see dark shapes hovering above its upper floors, and surmised that it must be the postal hive. Bees. Bees. To my east, a sign proclaimed the entrance to the Wyvern Feather, the town's public house and inn. I'll be resting here before I conducted my business in Rookland. And then we can go back. Bees, bees, bees. Press B to visit bees. We're gonna check out the bees. Bzz. Given a list of songs and chose ones to use their inspiration. Their music before was instantly taken with the rich narratives. Oh, that's sweet. Alright. That's lovely. Postal hive. Bees, bees. You've chosen the game basically wrote itself. That's really sweet. This game is making me think of the bee sound is making me think of Sunless Skies and all the bees in that game. I walked through the front door of the tall building and immediately encountered another one, this time with "Please allow the outer door to close," hand painted on it. I did so and left the cramped foyer. The office I walked into glowed gently with dozens of chemical lamps, the kind I'd seen before in heliography darkrooms. The black back wall of the office was some kind of wire mesh and screen doors covering stairs leading upwards. The air was filled with a rich humming sound. A handsome young woman in her late teens or early 20s hunched over a book in dim light, standing at the office's sole counter. A messenger bee at the length of her forearm perched on her shoulder, almost seeming to be reading the book as well. We love bees around here. Bees are wonderful. It's like best shoulder bee ever. Once I realized she hadn't noticed my entrance, I cleared my throat. Craig? Craig the bee? I love it. The woman snapped to attention, startling the bee into flight. It circled her head once and landed on the other shoulder, buzzing with what I presumed to be irritation. Oh, an outlander! The young woman seemed as delighted as she was flustered. I'm Karana. Karana. Pleased to meet you. I run Rookled's apothecary and apiary. You are... She froze as she caught the sight of the ornate, old-fashioned key around my neck. Oh, she murmured. Oh my goodness, it's you, isn't it? The skeleton key. You're real. I somehow thought... I laughed. I believed myself to be real, but who am I to know? Turning red, Karana puts her hands to her cheeks and gives a big bow of apology. Her shoulder bead took the air again, clearly startled. I didn't mean... I'm so sorry. You're welcome here, skeleton key. Thank you, Karana. I held my hands up in a placating gesture, not wanting to agitate either beekeeper or her bee further. It's all right. I'm Adelaide. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, skeleton key Adelaide. I have so many questions for you, if you don't mind. I asked about Karana's shoulder bee. Oh, Craig! Karana reached up, stroking the fuzzy back of her shoulder bee. The bee flickered its wings in response. Well, he's not so good at delivering messages, but he's such an agreeable fellow, so he's my personal assistant. I love it. I see. Allow her to ask a question of me. Alright, you may ask a question of me if you'd like. Karana's eyes lit up. Oh, I may? Well, thank you. Is it true that you can open absolutely any door? Yeah, this... Hi, everyone. I'm Kaiju. This is my emotional support bee. You can pat, just watch the back end. I nodded. I haven't met a locked door I couldn't beat. Okay, so what we have here is a character who is incredibly good at lockpicking. That's important. Asked about the apiary. Brooklyn did not have a post when I last came through. That's right, I established it. I discovered that I had the gift while an apothecary's apprentice in Magician's Red. I managed to purchase a queen and bought her back. Caleb helped me build a new apiary until... Jackson doesn't care for us to talk about Caleb. And tell me whatever you like, Karina. Well, it doesn't seem fair. What doesn't? That Caleb should be worked to the bone to pay his parents' debt. That Jackson profits and Caleb gets nothing. I'm gonna rescue him someday, see if I don't. I smiled in spite of myself. An apothecary, a beekeeper, and now a knight in shining armor? Karana blushed. Caleb's a good friend. He has seen me through so much. I was only teasing. Are we flirting? Are we flirting with the beekeeper? Ask about the apothecary. You're an apothecary? She smiles. I apprenticed for a few years in Magician's Red before I discovered bees. I haven't a seal, but I've retained most of my studies. Do you need a salve or tincture? I love the word tincture. Such a good word. Beekeeper's heart is already taken. By the bee? Inquire about the town. Have you any news or information about Rookland to share with me? I'm sorry, but no. I know little of the goings-on of the town. My job keeps me so busy. If my house were not so close by, I'd likely sleep here. That's alright. Do you have any work for me? By Caelyn. Fine, can we romance Craig then? Fuck. You're gonna spoil my fun. Do you have any work you'd like me to do? No, I've built most of what I wish access to. But if you could see a way to helping Caleb somehow, I would be grateful. He works in the back of Sundry store. Understood. Let's go back to the Rookland Square. You'll spoil a reasonable amount of my fun. That's fun. That's fine. As I left the foyer, I was shocked at how quiet it seemed outside. One became accustomed to the hum of the hive quickly, and even the birdsong and breeze of the square seemed near silence. General store. I walked into the store. I recognized instantly that it had changed a great deal from my hazy memories. The shelves couldn't have been more than a few years old, with aisles between them that had not existed when I was a child. There's certainly no match for the great stores of Magician's Red and other methods of cooling large produce of perishable goods. The selection here had certainly grown. Fresh root vegetables, candies, freshly baked bread accompanied the tools, cured meats, and dried herbs I remembered. "Ahoy!" a gruff voice called from the back room. "Whoever that is, you're being too quiet. Stay where you are." I stood near the counter and waited for the proprietor. A burly man with dark hair all over his face and arms emerged from the back room. He wore a surly expression, thick brows drawn low over his eyes. "I hope you're not trying to sneak into my store." He halted as he caught sight of me. His eyes wandered up and down my willowy body and came to rest on the inert key around my neck. "Well now," he said, his tone more thoughtful. "Little Adelaide Trammels, is it? You're the spitting image of her mother, no less." "What's your tone, Jackson? I'm the Skeleton Key now." "Yes, well, welcome to Rookland, Skeleton Key. Don't assume that you get the same free ride here that you get at the Wyvern Feather. If you want something, you pay for it. I've got work for you, though, if you want it." "Good to know," I replied. Jackson didn't seem as scary as he once did. He certainly wasn't any more likable. Okay, so we're going to get to punch this guy at some point. I turned my attention to the store. It was full of bees. No. Yeah, I smelled the freshly bread waiting for a resume at an oven in the back. As I approached the door to the store's back room, the burly proprietor stepped out from behind the counter and blocked my way. "You don't go back there," he growled. I held up my hands, a local sign of acquiescence, and returned my attention to the store. "You can punch him metaphorically." Well, I guess that'll have to do. A few loaves of bread that were laid out on the wall shelves behind the counter alongside crocks of honey and ground spices. Jackson leaned against the counter, hawkish eyes fixed on me. Jackson looked me up and down. "What do you want?" he demanded in a gruff tone. Resolutely meeting his eyes, I asked about the store. "This place is rather different. When you were still a wee thing, I'd only just inherited the place from my witless father. It took me time to make it someplace worth going to." "How's business then?" He squinted at me. "It's none of your business, Skeleton Key." Punches metaphorically. Ask about work. "You said that you have work for me." "Aye, that I do. But you better not tell a soul." "My confidence is as guaranteed as my mother's was," I said through clenched teeth. The suggestion that I would divulge a client's secrets insulted me deeply. "Fine, good. The fact is, I never technically inherited the store. It wasn't in my worthless father's will, but I was able to hide that fact. Technically, the store belongs to the town, and therefore Ichabod." "I see. What do you need me for, then?" "There's a safe in the basement of my house, and my spiteful father was entombed with the key to that safe. It contains the deed to the store, will or no will. If I have that deed, I own the store." "You want me to open the safe, then?" "No, I want you to bring me the key from the locked crypt." He folded his arms. "And drop it in the cold cellar. Come again to the store in the morning, and I will pay you." I raised my eyebrows. "You want me to rob a grave?" "I want you to restore property that is rightfully mine. I will pay 300 crowns. Will you do it?" I waved away the thought. "Not yet. I will decide on the jobs I do tonight." There's a frown, but nodded. "Anything else you want, then?" I mean, this seems like a point-and-click adventure game to me. Do we break into the safe, or do we rob the crypt to get the key? Ask about honey ice. What's this about honey ice? Grave rob. Graves. Finest treats in all Amberday. Jackson replied with no small amount of pride. Fresh cream, honey, and the secret blend of spices frozen with mountain ice in my cellar and served on a stick. It'll change your life. Magician's Red has frozen treats. Mine are better. Only 10 crowns. I nearly choked. Only 10 crowns? Fresh ingredients, rare ice. You get what you pay for. Do you want one or not? For that price, no thanks. So he's offering enough for that kind of job, which seems quite dishonest, enough to buy 30 ice creams. Doesn't seem good enough to me. Let's check out the other dry goods line the shelves. Roots, candies, and other products on the shelves are visibly less valuable than those behind the counter, but still wide variety than you thought Rooklyn had access to. Jackson must have contacts with local trade routes to stock the store so well. Sure, give me a hint. I left the lamplight and smell of fresh bread in the cool summer air of Brooklyn Square. Do crimes. Do crimes is a good hint. That would be your hint, Jack. Ah. If you're going to help Caleb, you need to talk to him in the back of Jackson's store. Yeah, but how do I need to get into the back of Jackson's store. Can I, like... Ask about the back room. That's the question. Be they do crimes. Fuck. Heck yes. It sounds like it's like the NB motto. Be they do crimes. Baked bread back there? Yep. May I see? Nope. Since I get no further with this line of questioning, I return to... Okay, so we're going to find a way into the back. Let's go check out the Wyvern Feather. The Wyvern Feather public house looked exactly the same way as my childhood mind imagined it. A sprawling array of wooden tables and chairs covered most of the floor, some of which were already occupied by the Rookard citizens who had already finished their works. A long bar ran the length of the room, next to a set of stairs leading up to rooms where my mother and I had slept so many years ago. Behind the bar, a portly young man with a friendly-looking face offered me a warm smile and a wave. I remember that Ichabod had spoken to someone named Janice. This must be him. Magistrate Ichabod waved me from a chair to allow his uninhabited table. Let's have a look at the portly young man. I approached the barkeep. Aww, they look really sweet. As I did, he clasped both hands together, bowed his head, and kissed the top of his clasped hands. I like that. I blink, confused at what I recognized to be a greeting so warm as to only be given to those one considers family. That's really sweet. I think that's one people need to adopt. That one seems really sweet to like. It seems like a really good one to do for isolation, actually. Like someone who really matters to you, but you have to stay away. I like that. Okay, I'm using that one. When he raised his head to look at me, I offered a warm greeting in return, clasping my hands and brother. Yeah, it's really lovely, and that's the sort of stuff I love. I am a utter like fanatic when it comes to world building. It's something that I always love so much. Often I care more about the world building than I care about the activities that are happening. So it's like I want to learn about these people, about their lives, about their stories of the town and how they behave to each other. The young man practically exuded friendly gratitude, which made his animated face seem quite handsome. You're Adelaide the Skeleton Key, yes? He clasped his hands together. I'm so grateful to be of service to you today. I'm Janice. My mother Joanna was great friends with Rose Trammels and served her well, and I hope to be the same with you. So far, it's really good. It's really amazing. I'm loving it. I nodded. My mother and Joanna were fast friends, and I was treated well here as a child. Your mother served us well, very well here. Is she... Janice made a holy sign and touched his forehead. May her soul rest as she always refused to do in life, as with your mother. Thank you. But enough of those who have moved on. Welcome, welcome. Janus spread his hands wide and bade me sit at the bar. What may I do for you, Adelaide? Janus smiled at me. After a moment I thought, ask about himself. I'd like to know more about you, Janus. Tell me about yourself. Well, there's not much to tell, he shrugged, smiling. Everything interesting about me is in the people I meet. Any visitors to Rooklands come through here, and such stories they have. So tell me a story you've heard then. I suppose I can do that. He gave me a wink and launched into a story that kept me rapt and made me weep in laughter. Eventually the story ended, my face aching from grinning so hard. Tell me about Ichabod. Ichabod's the magistrate, is he? I used to fancy your mother, you know. That he did. His political career bore significantly more fruit. How is he as a leader? Practical. He does a good enough job, I suppose. Seems to like the job a great deal. Ask about work. Have you any work for me, Janus? Janus shook his head, smiling. I am meticulous about keys and locks in my life, but Ichabod and Jackson from the sundry store both seem to be anticipating your arrival, so... Inquire about rumours. I imagine you hear a great deal about the town's doing here, I ventured. Less than you'd imagine, actually. The people of Rookhart are clannish even in their cups. I like that phrase, clannish even in their cups. So, very tight-lipped even when they're drunk. That's a good term. I like that phrase. So you've heard nothing? I didn't say that. How unlike the skeleton key to ask after petty doings of the town. Spit it out, you tease. I have heard a few things, Janus said, picking up a glass and polishing it with a clean rag. It's your line, is it? Less than I'd like, but... Yes. Well, Janus held the glass against the light of the chandelier overhead. People murmur about Kosa from time to time. She's been a shut-in since she lost her father. They say she blames Ichabod, which is a strange thing to do given that the man died of bluepox. Any further rumours? Jackson at Rookard Sundries has an indentured servant. Is that legal here? Well, Caleb's debt is great, and he's unskilled but for his baking, but he has no choice but to work under Jackson's ghastly terms. The townsfolk don't like it, but Ichabod supports Jackson, so... Definitely want to get them out of indentured servitude. It would seem that you have an admirer, Janus said with a smirk. Oh? Well, a different one at least. Kevin's been very preoccupied with stories of you, and he thinks he might be following you around. He's simply fascinated with that key of yours. Let's go talk to Ichabod. I should return to my business. It's been good to speak with you, Janus. As with you, Skeleton Key Adelaide. Thank you for your time. I turned back towards the inn, feeling my face feeling hot. Something in my body was beginning to stir whenever I thought or spoke to Janus. Magistrate. Skeleton Key Adelaide, beautiful world walker. Come sit with me and talk. I did as he bade, taking a seat across the table. How has Rookland been treating you thus far? Very good, thank you. Good. Ichabod reached forward and put his hand on mine. I pulled my hand away without thinking. Ichabod's face fell. The moment was quick though, and he recovered. Is there anything I can do for you? Ichabod asked. Do you have any questions? Not unfamiliar touching, please. That would be nice. Ask about the townsfolk. Ask about Caleb. Caleb's lot seems a hard one, I ventured cautiously. The poor boy, Ichabod shook his head. I would have wished him an easier life, but this experience will do him good. Jackson will look after him. Some townsfolk say his contract is unjust. Some townsfolk will say that any contract is unjust. What do you have to say about Jackson, actually? I'm curious. Tell me about Jackson. Jackson is a pillar of the community, Ichabod said, smiling. He has done much to revitalize trade here. Merchants now arrive in town who we have never seen before, thanks to Jackson's efforts. Yeah, it seems like one of those characters. Fine. Ask about work. You have a job for me? Ichabod smiled. It's a simple affair, though I'm happy to throw a couple 100 crowns your way for it. Handsome pay for a simple affair. What do you need? My memory isn't what it once was, and I've lost the key to my lockbox. I have a replacement for the box, but there's some important items related to my office inside. I'll pay you to open it. I nodded. It seems simple. If I accept the job, I'll do it tonight. I await your decision, Skeleton Key. What have people thought of me? Have you heard much about my presence in town? Many of the villagers don't seem keen to speak to me directly. You swept into town like an old friend. I think that townsfolk expected you to be less like a person and more like a force of nature. I nodded. The magistrate's answer may be different than I spoke to him again after making further impressions. Meantime, I continued our conversation. Fare you well, Skeleton Key. Alright. So we're going to find Caleb. Been there, been there. There's nothing in the hive. We can't talk to Karina about. No. Okay. I love how it all just flows in together really nicely. Homesteads, Ellie. Crops, field of crops. The hill. Okay. Alright. How do we talk to Caleb? Because we've got to... Like, can we distract... Oh, can we distract them? Can we knock over some stuff? Maybe he'll go down to the cellar if we ask him to get us some stuff. Yeah, distraction seems to be part of the goal. He'll have to go downstairs to get the honey ice, as far as I can gather. This might be the way we do it. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Don't touch anything. I don't know. We're playing it Monkey Island style. Crouching down, Jackson lifted a heavy trap door that gave off a light mist when he opened it. I could feel the cold air wafting up from the opening narrow enough to fit his barrel chest. He climbed down the ladder and was soon out of sight, leaving me alone in the store. Okay, so we've got to get there. We've got to do that. So we close the lid and we put a heavy chair on top. That's right, isn't it? We're playing by Monkey Island rules. I can tell what you played a lot as a kid. Yep. So we can move a barrel on there because I know how these things work. If we don't do it, it'll be like the storekeeper in Monkey Island, where the moment you go to touch something, it turns back up. So we've got to stop him from coming back into the store. Okay. No. Okay. Oven in the back. There we go. Out from under Jackson's watchful eye, I slipped into the back room, careful to take light footsteps. The Rookland Sundry's back room was cramped, hot room with no doors or windows, only a curtain separating it from the store. A massive oven occupied the majority of the room, emanating waves of heat. Tending the oven was a wiry boy in his mid-teens. He was clad only in dirty pantaloons, naked from the waist up and covered in a sheen of sweat, flour, and dust. He nearly jumped out of his skin upon seeing me. How did you get in here? Come and go as I please. Who are you? He stammered, his eyes frightened. Reassure the boy that he was safe. Oh, you're the Skeleton Key, aren't you? I'm Caleb. Oh, how I wish I could afford to hire you. I frowned. Why? My parents died in great debt to the goodman Jackson. Caleb said, tears in his eyes. Ichabod allowed him to draw up my contract for services with such unreasonable terms that I fear I'll never be free of it. I rub my cheek. What in theory would you want of me? Steal my service contract from Ichabod's desk and burn it. But would that really work? I could never get away with it myself, going into Jackson's home office. But you are feared and respected, Skeleton Key. You work outside the law. And what's more, the other townsfolk know of my plight, but they fear Jackson and Ichabod. If you intervened, they would support me. You may be right, I admitted. But I cannot pay you. Maybe someday. My ears caught the sound of boots on the ladder. Caleb heard it too, as he practically pushed me out of the back room. You'll have to go. I'll be punished if Jackson sees you here. I made it out to the store just in time as Jackson emerged from the cellar. Jackson emerged from the cold cellar, shaking off a chill. Got that treat for you. Come buy it. Rookard said. Alright. There we go. We've got 3 jobs. We've got the contract, we've got the deed, and we've got the lockbox. Alright. I'm guessing we go up. As I approach, it says, Janice called out to me. Will you be turning in then, Skeleton Key? I thought about it. Was I ready to decide on the work I would accept and end my day? 2 potential clients I could talk to. Oh, in the outskirts? Okay, let's have a look. Outskirts. Okay. The homesteads thinned as I walked south, giving way to dry brush and rocky land unsuitable for farming. A single rundown home scattered among the rocks. One isn't exactly a client. Okay. Well, I mean, is Caleb really a client since they can't pay us? That one I consider pro bono. Pro bono publico, for the public good. I approached the ill-kept house. Run down as it was, I could not help but notice how sturdy it looked. Oh, this one's for a B, is it? Couldn't help but notice how sturdy it looked. The door in particular was made of heavy hardwood, weather-worn but still quite solid. I knocked on the door. I rapped hard on the door several times. After a few seconds, I heard a harsh voice. Who's there? It is I, the Skeleton Key of Amber Day. Skeleton Key, yes, I have expected you. I am Kosa. You may come in, but there is little for you here. The door opened and a musty smell wafted through. A wild-eyed woman, friendly bee, with dark hair and fatigue-bruised eyes, stood behind the door, unsettled gaze fixed on me. She led me inside to a hovel as run down as the hysteria. Much of the hovel was occupied by a makeshift kitchen with large stores of dried soy and grain. A dirty bedroll and a squatting table sat next to the kitchen area, but there was little else. I could see a large beehive occupying a space that must have been once a bedroom. My bees, Kosa said upon following my gaze. Karana helps me from time to time. She's a good girl. She'll be crushed, of course. They all are. Forgive the mess. I live as I live. What do you want with me? Asked about herself. Broken woman, she hissed. Nothing to tell but fractures and fragments. About Rookard. What can you tell me about Rookard? Bad dealings, bad people, innocents crushed. Do your work and get out. Ichabod? She squinted, studying my face. After a few moments, she shook her head. Too soft. You'll be crushed. Do your business and leave. I like Kosa. Work? Do you have any work you'd hire for me? She looked me in the eyes, her pupils a roiling pit of emotion too tumultuous for me to read. After a few moments, she shook her head. No, not for you. She got stories. She got things she wants to know. Sure, give me a hint. Took my leave, walking out of the fresh air. The door of the house slammed behind me as I was left alone. I am good with hints. So what is it? We'll probably do another. Choose another main option. You two should be able to choose another main option or two. Ah. So I gotta stop being soft. The valley shielded the cemetery from the sunlight, and the cool breeze that stirred the grass between the headstones brought me a chill I wouldn't have expected on a summer day. Standing out among the headstones was a door of an underground crypt, likely from the days of old gods and superstitious burial rituals. In order to get all the good stuff, you want to have a mixed soft main rep. Okay, a little bit of Paragon and a little bit of Renegade. We can do with that. Oh, polite rep doesn't do anything for you. Great. Ruins of the church were raised by the Empire. They didn't have the nerve to disturb the dead. I walked to a pile of rubble recognizable as the church only by a broken gargoyle half sunk in the dirt. Many of its stone blocks were shattered by the Empire's famous explosives. Okay. Yeah, I've been going primarily warm. I tend not to be overly polite. I tend to go with like a nicer option. An old god was worshipped here. My mother had been raised in a religion like this, though she abandoned it before giving birth to me. My mother's eyes stood what was left of the altar. It was rare to see one intact these days. I walked on a stone altar, a low table with deep crack in the center. Animal sacrifices had been made here once. Unbidden, a voice rang out in my head. It was impossibly low, but there was a high frequency sound to it as well. My mind struggled to stay together as it spoke to me. You are a human of power. You will carry out my will. How dare you make demands of me unbidden? I'm guessing that's the one I should be going for here. How dare? A crackling chuckle threatened to tear my head open. Yes, you speak my language, arrogant thing. We are more alike than you are to those puny things. What do you want of me? I demanded. Speak your peace before I tire of you. You have a power. You can release me from this prison. Release me so I may punish this town. Punish them? For what crimes? Forgetting me, ignoring me. I have lost my name and I cannot forgive this. Rookin had its sins, certainly. Why were they so severe as to merit punishment by old gods? Refuse! I'm assuming refuse is the good the hell no option. Don't tell me what to do. I'll punish this town on my own. Rep antagonist agnostic, really. Oh, okay. I'll do no such thing. Aroint thee, lost god. Okay, real decision comes in now. I turned and walked away, clutching my head as the god roared its frustration. Release elder god upon the people. Walk away. Release elder god. Walk away. Done the cemetery. Done all that. Will she talk to me now? No, I'm too soft. Nah, I'm too soft. Such is life. That's what other playthroughs are for. That's the thing. These games have playthroughs, and you can play them differently. And so I play them as they do the first time round, and then experiment with it later. I will only be doing a short part of this, and then move on to the next one. We'll see how it goes, because, you know, I want there to be story that other people can go and experience on their own. That's a big part of it. Okay. Leading up. Okay. Yes, please see to it I am undisturbed until evening. I must be rested when I begin my work. Of course, he replied with a smile. I ascended the stairs slowly and walked to the end of the hall. The door to the room was just as I remembered it, though it seemed smaller from my adult perspective. I knelt by the lock and gently guided the skeleton key to it. I heard the tumblers catch and click one by one as though the enchanted brass was an extension of my hand. It took only a moment for me to find the lock's sweet spot. I turned the key, walked into the room, and locked the door behind me. Instantly, this game has a better lockpicking mechanic than anything Bethesda's ever done. The room had improved. The furnishings were all newer, with a fine wood dresser and a comfortable-looking bed. The water pump and a drain occupied the corner that had once been only a basin. I gratefully took advantage, stripping naked and washing my body in sundress. Feeling clean and clear-headed, I laid my dress out to dry, sat on the bed and meditated. My surroundings seemed to fall away. I let my mind go as still as the air around me. Rukard was gone. The people were gone. I was unmoving. I let myself rest in the darkness for a time my body knew well, but my mind could not detect. When I returned to my thoughts, it was with the ponderous deliberation of one getting dressed on a lazy Sunday. I picked the thoughts up one by one, climbing into them slowly. Many of the wandering legends of Ambiday considered themselves above humans, forces of nature, pure and impartial. My mother scoffed at such illusions, but I understood the urge to acknowledge the ripples that even our most insignificant actions set in motion was to take responsibility for them. And being a wandering legend was itself too much responsibility for much to bear. But I was of this world, not over it. I could go a month without sustenance, but I was still human. My body could survive mortal wounds, but I was still a woman. I could open any lock, but I still made mistakes. The best I could do was meditate and consider and choose my work carefully. I considered the work I had been offered. Ichabod would pay me 100 crowns to open the small locked box in his office. Jackson offered me 300 crowns to retrieve the key to his father's safe from the cemetery vault. Caleb asked me to retrieve his employment contract from Jackson's desk, but could pay me nothing. An old god wished to be freed from the ruined church altar in order to recover its name. It would pay me in power and favors. I slowly blinked my eyes open. I could see darkness through the window outside, and my sundress was visibly dry again. I'd been meditating for several hours. Time to get to work. Setting my bare feet against the cool lacquer, I paced the room once and took a few deep breaths. I shrugged on my sundress, allowed myself a long stretch, and left the room. I would return here to sleep when my work was done. As I descended the stairs, Janice caught my eyes from behind the bar. Work well, skeleton key. Thank you, Janice. I will. Will you still be awake when I return? Most likely, he said in a tone that assured me that he would wait up for me. Good. I left the inn, emerging into the cool night air. The moon was waxing gibbous that night, casting a cold light across the square, bright enough to wash out the dim oil lights in front of the inn. The weather-vane monument cast a long shadow across the ground like a great misshapen sundial. On the east of the square, the Wyvern Feather seemed the only business still open, its front door lit and same warm light spilling from its interior. The buildings to the west were both dark. The postal hive no longer had dark shapes buzzing around the roof, and the general store little more than a dark hulk in the shape of the moon. The homesteads of Rook had waited me to the north. To the south lay the lonely outskirts. What are we gonna do? Alright folks, gonna need your help with this one. I don't know how many we can do. Can you tell me? How many can we do? How many can we do? Can we only do one? Or can we do multiple? You can do all or none. Or multiple. Pick and choose. Caleb. Gotta help Caleb. Do we want the cash? Do the ones I want to do. Yeah, but there's good choices. Ichabod seems easy. Ichabod seems pretty neutral. So we can save the boy. Get the key from the cemetery, from the crypt. Open the lockbox that we don't know what's in it. Or release the old god to wield destruction upon the town and its inhabitants that have forgotten it for so long. Options. Well, Caleb first. Let's get Caleb out of the way. General store. No business. Okay. Homesteads. Yeah, if you do the old... Yeah, I figured that would be the case. Hey, buddy. Alright. The moon's shadow grew ever more stark here at the north edge of town, with fewer buildings and no other light to contrast it. Most of the town's residents were asleep now, I surmised, with the unlit homesteads. I wandered in the dark alleyways between Rukyard's homes. My instincts told me that Ichabod's house was nearby. Jackson's house, I entered, was the far edge of the homesteads. Let's do all three. Oh, let's do those three, not the good one. Well, I'll do a run later on that'll be destroying the town. I allowed my feet to carry me to the house I had never visited, but I knew to be Jackson's. It was a well-kept house with fresh polished hardwood and ceramic shingle roof. I kneeled in front of the heavy door and slipped the skeleton key into it. The moment I felt the vibrations of the tumblers, I smiled to myself. Jackson's paranoia ran deep. The lock in his door was a new model, developed in Magician's Red. The Thieves' Guild still had not figured a way of it, which had meant many requests for their like. If I were a normal lock charmer, it might have defeated me too. But I was never a normal lock charmer. I had come and I go as I please. I turned the key and the lock gave way, unlocking smoothly. This is what you get for maxing out lockpicking skill. Like, you gotta get to at least 100 and all the associated perks. I crept inside Jackson's house. I closed the door behind me and sniffed the air. Candle wax and parchment. Clean. It was nearly pitch black, but my eyes took only a few moments to adjust and I could see again. This was certainly the house of a merchant. Extra stores, sacks, and products occupied the corners, and the furnishings all spoke of luxury. Eat the rich. Eat the rich. I knew at once Jackson was not home, even without looking in his bedroom. His desk sat against a wall nearby, covered in neatly organized sheets of paper and fine writing equipment. Jackson's desk was an elegant, modern affair. The surface directly in front of the wooden chair was clean. The sheets of parchment were arranged in neat stacks. Several corked bottles of ink stood nearby, by the side near a quill stand. The desk itself was a rich hardwood construction, likely to be made by a visiting artisan. It had a wide surface, sturdy legs, and inset locking drawers. I placed my hand on the surface of the larger drawer, felt the presence of the locking mechanism. While not the pinnacle of technology, this one was of unique design. I sensed a trap within the drawer, a small drawer of some kind of powder with a mechanical bellows behind it. My, Jackson, I whispered as I coaxed the drawer open and the trap to sleep. Was this a gift for me, I wonder? I pulled the drawer open and let my fingers flicker over the parchment inside, ignoring the solid bar of orichalcum and pouches of illicit herbs. My instincts twigged as I pulled out a single sheet. Hello, Raiden. You come to see me do crimes? Raiden's here to see us do crimes, aren't you, buddy? It's okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. We're just gonna do some crimes today. Yeah. Caleb's contract. Mwah. Bye-bye. How you doing? Okay? asleep in the window? I considered for a moment. Shall I bring it to his house, finish the job, or put it back? Bring it to his house. You having fun with my chair? The motions to put Jackson's house just as I found it were fluid and natural. He would have no idea I'd been here without checking for the missing document. I closed the drawer, worked the trap, put the lock back in place, and slipped out of the house. Another turn of my key returned the house to the fortress it had been before I breached it. Feeling vulnerable carrying my borrowed treasure, I crept to Caleb's run-down hovel as quickly as I could. I flattened the parchment against the steps of the home and slid it under the gap in the door. I gave the door a few gentle taps before leaving. As I stole away, I could hear the sound of relieved weeping from the building behind me. Even without my intuition, finding Ichabod's home and office would not have been difficult. It was the same building in which the magistrate had lived when I last visited. It was also one of the largest and most central buildings in Rookwood's homesteads. I walked up to the well-kept, aged front door and placed my palm against it. Unlocked. Ichabod was expecting me. Nevertheless, I kept quiet as I opened the door and slipped through. Oh, you old fool. Evidently meant to catch me alone, whether for conversation or to ensure I didn't do any job in his home but his. Ichabod had set up a chair to face the door and stationed himself upon it. If he had stayed awake, it might have been worked. Ichabod snored softly in the fine chair of wood and cloth that faced the door of his home, sacrificing the comfort of his bed that I presumed lay in his bedroom. Across the room was his office, a stately desk in which Rookland's crest was painted. Ichabod's office was no messier than that of many magistrates, which is to say that it was very messy. Parchment, tools, seals, and the like cluttered his desk and floor, laying upon shelves, racks, and even a squat imperial safe vault on the floor. A space had been cleaned on the desk for a small pewter lockbox. Well, we can do the job, and then we'll have a look in the safe. We'll do our job first. The lockbox in the center of the desk was designed like a large chest in miniature, made entirely of heavy pewter. It was obviously the lockbox that Ichabod wanted me to open. As sturdy as the metal was, the lock was what I expected of a container its size. I'd scarcely placed the skeleton key in the lock when it gave way, turning smoothly. I removed the key and tilted the lit box. Inside lay a heavy metal seal with Rookwood's crest and several small rolled pieces of parchment. Leaving Ichabod's lockbox on the chest, I returned to the office. What's in the box? Let's find out. Covered in paper and tucked away in the corner was an imperial vault safe. A squat construction with frequently changed and complex lock. The Empire required all of its magistrates to keep such a vault in their office. Only imperial investigators could open it or review its contents. I had no business with the vault and avoided tweaking the Empire's news I could. That, I would have a sneaking suspicion, is Kosa's job. Am I right? Is that Kosa's job, to get whatever's in that? Having a sneaking suspicion of narrative causality here. Narrative causality, you are mine. Okay. Ooh, now, do we get Jackson the deed? It's a question. Like, Jackson's a prick, but we've just like let his indentured servant go free. So, do I give him the metaphorical finger and not do the job for him? Or do I do it and take the money? Ooh, that's a difficult one. Like, we don't obviously need the money that much. Ooh, there's more? Sweet. outskirts. Cemetery. Raised obelisk. The crypt obelisk was a relic of the reign of the old gods. Wait! No, wait. That's not the one we want. Is it? The only tall structure was a raised inset doorway that led to an underground crypt in the days of the old gods. Church ruins, ancient older. Okay, yeah. Just worried I'd accidentally let the god out. Okay. Untouched by the emperor's abolishing of old religions for reasons I did not know, the weathered old monument was an ancient masterwork of iron and stone. I walked up to the sturdy iron door and brushed my hand down its front. The lock inside hummed its cooperation in response. Who let the god out? Who? Seriously, who let the god out? Because they're torching everything. Everything is on fire. Oh god, we should have never given up the old gods. We're sorry. But seriously, who let the old gods out? It would open for me if I asked. I closed my eyes and placed the skeleton key in the old lock. It woke slowly, flaking its way free of years of rust collected over a generation. I murmured encouragement under my breath, and the lock moaned with the ache of old age, slowly complying with the key's push. I love this idea that all the locks are living things. That is something I absolutely love, is this notion that every lock is its own little creature that's has its own story. The lock finally fell silent in relief, finally, as the tumblers came to rest in their unlocked position. Well done, old friend, I whispered. I gave the door a long, heavy pull and it came open, the metal wailing its protest. I descended with slow steps in the pitch-black depths of the crypt. At first, I guided my steps only by the growing smell of the dust and rot and the echoing sound of my own footsteps. There had been little light in the cemetery, and even less of it spilled down to the crypt's staircase, leaving me in near total darkness. When I came to the bottom of the stair, I stopped and waited for my eyes to leave a range of human perception. Details gradually filled themselves in, revealing rows of stone coffins set like shelves into the walls of the long hallway. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath of thick air, and trod a path along the stone floor. I stopped where my intuition demanded and pulled the coffin door away from the wall. The corpse inside turned and looked at me with sad, ghostly eyes. Why do you disturb my rest, skeleton key? I have need of your vault key, I told it. What need have you of a key? No, it is not you who needs it, but my needy son. I did not reply. I cannot stop you, skeleton key, but please, leave this place, the ghost implored. Leave the key. Do not disturb the dead. There's obviously a story there. Let's leave the dead in peace. The dead dad obviously had a reason. Yeah, buddy, it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it in peace. Like, that says to me there's a reason. This was too much to ask even of me. I lifted the heavy stone cover back into its place and heard the corpse whisper at a hollow, "Thank you," as I did. My steps up the front stair of the crypt were much faster than they had been down them. As I closed and locked the heavy iron door, I knew that I would not open that door again. I turned, blinking against the dim light of the dark cemetery. We're going to return to the town and not let the god out. Return to the square. Can we go to the hive? No. Alright, let's go to the wyvern. We've unlocked the chest. We've released the kid. And we have given Jackson the finger. Stepping into the warmth of the wyvern feather, I squinted involuntarily as my vision went hot and white, bright as the moon was. The inn was significantly better lit. The innkeeper Janice gave me a warm smile. As I walked further in, Janice caught my attention. How is work going, Skeleton Key? Turning in soon? Soon, I whispered. What was this strong draw I felt to the innkeeper? The soft curves of his face and body? Something in my mind and heart urged me to take him as mine for the night. Damn it! I want to do it. I want to do it. How graphic is this? Yeah, okay. Damn it. I'm gonna have to play it myself. Oh, it's graphic? How many bunny ears do I need to put around graphic? Yeah, we'll return to 2. Okay. Okay. I mean, this isn't like full service shop graphic we're talking about. Plain all graphic. Okay. I mean, we're not talking like full service shop or hard coded. We're talking like, I don't know. We'll leave it as is. Let's call it. Let's call that one. Okay. Retire to my room. Oh, relatively undetailed erotica? I probably couldn't have gotten away with that. But I'll leave it for my personal perusal. I approached the stairs. Will you be turning in for the night then, Skeleton Key? Yes, I was done. I climbed the stairs toward my room. I still had time to catch a few hours sleep before I collected my payments and left Brooklyn for the next town. As I set my hand on the door to my room, however, I knew that something was wrong. The lock cried abuse. Someone had inexpertly charmed it while it was away. I considered turning back and reporting this to Janice, but for a moment I shook my head. It was not like the Skeleton Key to shy away. I opened the door, strode through, and let out a deep sigh as I felt a knife at my throat. Give me the Skeleton Key. The voice behind me was young but post-pubescent, quavering with anxiety. You're the one who's been following me, I say, my own voice calm as a cave pond. Give me the Skeleton Key. My assailant ground through clenched teeth. I felt a sting as the sharp blade bit into my skin. You don't know what you're doing, child. Give me the key or I'll slit your throat. His voice was a loud hiss, and I wondered if Janice could hear him downstairs. What, I thought, should I give this aspirational youth? Alright, is there... the ugly death is probably the one that's going to be sufficiently gory, so we'll probably avoid that one. Give him a chance, talk him down, or let him make his mistake. The last one would definitely be let's avoid the gross one. Let him make his mistake. If they want to try it, they can try it. I sighed. Fine, I said. What? The youth sounded surprised. I'll give you the Skeleton Key, I snapped. Once you remove that knife from my neck, I can't take off the cord with it there. I could hear the frown in his voice. No, I don't trust you. I'll just cut it. I rolled my eyes. Fine. Cut the leather. Take the key. And let fate help you. He cut the cord with a quick jerk and fled out the door, banging the dangling key against the door frame as he retreated. I shook my head and climbed onto bed. I was determined to get at least a few hours of rest before allowing this foolishness any more thought. As I collected my payment for the work done the next morning, I received some strange looks for the lack of the key around my neck, but no one said anything about it. I left town with little fanfare, having spoken only to those whom I expected payment. I felt strange to walk out without that familiar weight on my chest, and I did not care for it. Best to be away from everyone. I walked out of town for several days, foregoing rest and sustenance in favor of distance. When I finally felt as though I had gone far enough, I climbed a tree with low branches, settled in the crook, and closed my eyes. I went into a deep trance. I lost track of time. It had been a few days, perhaps a week, perhaps a month. When I came out of my meditation, I was being called. I clambered down the tree and stretched my aching muscles. My destination was Magician's Red, which I had more or less expected. It would only be a day or two if I walked, but I disregarded it. My discomfort egged me on. I broke into a jog. I reached the border of Magician's Red early that morning and was met by a constable I faintly recognized. "Hoy, Skeleton Key! We picked up someone pretending to be you!" "I know," I replied. "Mercy," she gasped, looking at my chest. "I thought his key looked accurate. Did he steal it from you?" "I have to go." I took quick steps to the Magician's Square in the center of town. There was a new feature that had been added since my last visit. A raised platform with wooden stocks featured prominently, as did its occupant. Kevin's face was haggard, filthy, and tired. A stench clung to him that I could smell from nearly across the town. As I approached, his face went through a range of emotion: fear, sorrow, desperation, and finally anger. "You lied to me," he shouted, his voice a hoarse croak. "You gave me a fake key." "Did you really imagine," I asked, looming in front of him, "that my power all lay in a piece of brass?" He stared up at me. I shook my head, reached down, and untied the leather cord from around his neck. "I'll take my key back now." "Wait," he struggled. "Please free me." "No," I replied, walking away. 12 years later. I returned to Rookwood. It was early afternoon on an unusually mild midsummer's day when I arrived on the outskirts of Rookwood. I crested the hill and saw the town, a few haphazard homesteads strewn across the valley below. Though it had been a dozen years, I remembered the town as it only just left it. It looked the same as it always had from here. I walked down the great hill. I chose a careful path down the hill. As the grade became shallower, the grass grew more patchy as my untrue path became a dirt road. I saw the first signs of life as a maize and soybeans, an aging but hearty woman dressed in a simple tunic and denim leggings, digging an irrigation ditch. She dropped her activity and stared at me. "Skeleton Key? Skeleton Key Adelaide? You're Ellie," I said. The woman had more lines in her face, but otherwise looked the same as she had on my last visit. "Aye," she replied, shoving her spade into the dirt at my feet. "Welcome back. Why don't I walk you to town? Things have changed since you were last here." This is still, this is Digital University. You would not believe how long some of the games we've played are. I followed her. "Tell me how things are." "Well, Ichabod's still in charge of town." "He's been fine, though not long after you came through town he issued a bunch of peculiar edicts. The Inquisitors slept through, arrested Kosa, and wouldn't say why." Ooh, okay, so that was that story. Any other news? This is short in comparison. "Jackson fell in hard times after you left. Turned out he never really inherited his father's store, and Karana leapt up on the property fiercer than I've ever seen her. Drove Jackson straight out of business, and he drove himself out of town. Caleb and Karana yeah, they've had some very diverse length games here. Caleb and Karana run all of town now, the shops now, and they're a fine couple. Reckon they'll marry soon. A lot changed since after I left. You made quite the impression. Folks talked about you like you were an angel when you left. Kind, polite, you could do anything." She gestured her head. "We're approaching the Wyvern's Feather. There's a place that's not changed in all the time you've been gone. Janice will be happy to see you." She left me at Rookwood Square and I walked through the door to the inn. Wyvern's Feather Public House looked exactly the same as when I visited last. A sprawling array of wooden tables and chairs covered most of the floor, some of which are reoccupied by Rookwood citizens who had already finished their work. Behind the bar, a portly man with fine-looking face raised his eyes to meet mine. His face lit up with delight. "Skeleton Key, you've returned. I had no idea. I'm sorry, but I haven't prepared your room yet." "Don't waste your worry on me, Janice," I replied, smiling involuntarily. "As you say, Skeleton Key, I'm here to serve." I smiled. So am I. Rookett has been one of many towns I have visited, and I walk still. These ripples are only a few that I have made in this world, and I walk still. There are so many things to remember, but I remember still. Here in Rookett they call me stranger, but now they call me citizen. I'm called other things in other places. Don't you go wasting all your worry on me. I'll be fine. The end. It's a good story. Fuck. Oh. Gallery. Gallery. It's so good. We made this happen. We made this happen. That's all I care about. Me and Craig giving Caleb the eye. It's like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You should be proud. This is really good. How long's the basement? Because that's the the heaviest one. I'm just wondering if we have time for it today. Go to the console when you play by yourself. Basement is short. Okay, we're gonna do basement last. Whoop. And let's go get it. Alright. Behave, Craig. Behave, Caleb. All of you just behave. Alright. Content warnings. Basement. Features death, blood, dismemberment, implied invasive surgery. This one is probably going to be pretty heavy. It's going to be short, but we'll see how we go. Thank you so much. Narashi, thank you. I'm loving your games. They are wonderful. I am not surprised. I am honestly not surprised. It's light horror. We can deal with that. It's bloody, but the content isn't heavy. That's fine. I can deal with that. Alright. So, question. If I were to interview you for digital diversity, would you want to talk about your work, talk about any specific games? Would you want to talk about your work with CUD? Or would you like to talk in general about your work? Because playing your games, I now want to talk to you more about your games. If you'd be up for it. It'll just be a text interview. So, let's do The Basement, our fourth and final game for today. All of Wonder. Oh yeah, you're working on Law of Wonder? An overview? We can do that. I've done those. I like those. Alright. Holy crap, you're the lead writer? I am so excited for that game. I am so goddamn excited. Alright. Alright. I probably heard that you were Lord, but I haven't heard much of it before then. Oh, nice. Okay. You're going to be damn good at that. Okay, final game. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bit of light horror to end this off. Let's do this. You all ready? Let's do this. Okay. Welcome to Caelyn. Is it Caelyn? Caelyn Sandel's Basement. Credits and content warnings. Wonderful. Basement was written, designed, and programmed by Caelyn Sandel. All photos, art, music, and editing are by Caelyn Sandel. Features blood, death, dismemberment, implied invasive surgery. Please consider sharing and supporting. Yes, please support. There's a heavy door here. Paradise lies beyond. Let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. The door to paradise is locked. A wayfish androgyne peers at you from their nook. turn the music up a little. It says, "Are you looking for paradise?" They say, "The resident..." I can never pronounce that name, that word. Chirurgeon? Chirurgeon? I can never remember the pronunciation. I apologize. Keeps its scalpel thin and sharp. What if paradise is a lie? Listen close for the Widdershins beast's footsteps. Chirurgeon. Okay, back. 3 hallways lead away from one another at right angles. Keep going. Slabs of drywall lead you along a straight path. I have never been led along a straight path in my life, and I consider that an insult. A corner hallway with a little nook leading away. We go right. There's a circuit breaker mounted on the wall of the long hallway. Lots of circuit switches here. Best not to fuss with them unless you know what you want to do. Is this window looking out at paradise? Some spare doors are leaning against the wall. The doors are too big to carry. There's a small board screwed to one of the doors, though. Junk on a shelf. The lamp doesn't have any light bulbs in it. A small metal-handled screwdriver is jammed into one of the lamp's bulb sockets. Ouch! Electrical current is running through the screwdriver and you can't take it. The room is full of nothing but boxes. Mostly junk. You see a small lockbox at the bottom of one box. But that box is full of razor-sharp glass shards. You don't want to have your hand up reaching for the lockbox. Okay, so we need the screwdriver, but for that we need... Oh god, should I have brought a map? You find the breaker labeled lamp and turn it off. Okay. Lamp, screwdriver. Now the power's off, you can take the screwdriver. Okay, we have a screwdriver. And then we go back to here, spare doors. And we use the screwdriver. You unscrew the board from the door it was attached to and take it with you. Ah, we're playing the old, once you use an item, it gets replaced with another item thing. Okay. So we don't want to go through that. Hallway seems to go on forever, but it doesn't actually. A sink. Blood is flowing from the drain. Shouldn't touch the mysterious blood coming out of nowhere with your bare hands. Probably. Might be a window once. No looking through it. Hello. I must take more patience until I see the medical board. Have you seen the medical board? Here is the medical board. That is not the medical board. The medical board has a red cross on it. Okay. No, we're okay for that only. No, we're back here again. An unseen person beckons from a recess in the wall. Heavy footsteps echo from somewhere nearby. I'm scared. Please take my hand. Heavy footsteps echo from somewhere nearby. Take the hand. You took the unseen person's hand. I've been unwittingly dodging it? Okay, that's good. Close but not approaching. Thank you. I feel safer now. Go that way. That... What? Damn it. Okay, that way, that way, that way, that way. Grab the hand. Go that way, that way, that way, that way. Lamp, screwdriver, back, there, circuit breaker, back, lamp, screwdriver, back. Spare door, screwdriver, back, down. Wait. Hand. Oh. Sink. Hand. Damn it. Central ring with offshoots. Yeah, it feels like something I need, like... Walks a steady patrol. Ah, okay. Boxes. Hand. You hold the severed arm at the end, the lowered hand into the glass shards, not seeming to notice or care about the glass. The hand grabs the small of the box and pulls it both free. What's in the box? The box in the rest of the shot. Pry it open with a thin knife. Okay, we don't have a thin knife. We've done that. We've got the board. We've got the box. We've done the circuit breaker. Let it go past. Alright. Have I ever told you I'm bad at horror games? One more try. One more try. Oh, the music's turned off. Let's do it again. Alright. That way, that way, that way, that way. Woo! I'm terrible at these. It's slower than, yeah, but I keep walking into it. I can't put the music on loop. Alright. Step in the office. Yes. Sadly, you do not survive the surgery. Fantastic. Not being able to good communicate mechanics of play. No, this is pretty, like... I have never been very good at horror games. Like, do a remake then. Do one that feels right for you. Like, I've never been particularly good at these sorts of games. Like, I'm pretty terrible at them ever since I was a little kid and I played through Pandora Detective. I don't know if anyone's ever played that one. God, the Under a Killing Moon and Pandora Detective games were obnoxiously difficult at times. Yeah, they've never been something I've been particularly good at. Let's try and do this a little. Let's try and be a little more careful about it. Yeah. So like I tended to stay away from them. I've never been the biggest like monsters. I fucking love monsters, as you can tell, but horror is not my speed. Never has been. Okay, it's gone quiet. We'll go this way. We'll get the hand. We'll go this way. Like, I think that the scariest I can deal with is like alien level terror. Like, it's not too much. Like, things that definitely don't work for me is like real world scary. I need a metaphor. Yeah. Right now I'm on the southeast corner. Okay. Okay, I have the box. Wait till it leaves. Yeah. Okay. There's the blood. I can't touch the blood yet. Southeast corner. I need a map. This feels like the old adventure games where I need to, like, draw the map. I can't use that yet. Don't go west. Don't go that way. Okay. There's a delay. So is it going... Okay. Can I go forward now? Is it going like that? Don't go north. So it's going that way. Okay. So I need to go west. Oh, we're in counterclockwise. Yeah, okay. There's the unseen stump. Southwest corner, nook. Yeah, I feel like I need to be drawing out a map. South. South? Because it's coming back towards me. South? North? No, I'm back to here now. That just takes me there again. No. What does the box do? I need a thin... Oh, Kurgan. Kurgan. Oh, there's a way from the breaker room? No. Whoa, duck. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I got the pattern finally. Heat moons, why have I been forsaken? If you find paradise, tell me how to get there. Okay, I need to go to the... Ooh, shows up. Hey, yeah. Oh, sorry. Some other junk. Paintbrush. Sweet. Okay. So we need to go out. I'm going to wait till it goes past. We go back. We go that way. We wait. That way. That way. Paintbrush. That way. Medical board. At least I've seen the medical board. Here, have a scalpel. Okay. Box. Key inside. That way. North. North. Heavy door. Key. Key fits the door. The tumblers turn. The door begins to open. Finally. Paradise. I finished a horror game. For like probably the first time in my life. I finished a horror game. Paradise? Paradise? Fuck. Fuck. That was good. All the photos. Your picture you snapped of an actual basement you lived above. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah, it sounds awful, but good game material. Yeah, that seems like a murder basement. That's not a good basement. So, I want to thank you all. This was super fun and very different, and I really enjoyed that. Um, I love Caelyn's games. They are wonderful. Like, if you have any more that you'd recommend we play, I'm happy to chuck one or two into like future streams. They always good. These streams are always fun. These make my like this is what I'm passionate about to like have these games and have them seen. Play Relic. I'll put that on my next playlist. Um, go get go get those games. Where's the list for all those games is there. So if you need to check them out, just go to inurashi.itch.io. Go get some games. A lot of them are in bundles right now. Go get them. Tip your game devs. Always keep tip your game devs. Big sales. Big sales. Check out these awesome games that are on sale right now in your area. Check out hot sales in your area. Um, there's a lot of stuff there, and I really love talking with game devs who do lots of varied stuff. So tonight we played a point and click adventure game, point and click slice of life story, I guess. We played a open-ended dice rolly galaxy explorer sim. We've played a horror game in a murder basement inside a real life murder basement. And we played a really fun story game where we get to, change what happened in the future of a town. I should play Campaign Trail of Blood. Okay. Well, you let me know which ones. Running a monster election campaign. Holy fuck! Why didn't you tell me this before? I could have. Okay, that's on the list for next time. So I will hopefully be talking to Caelyn at some point soon. If you want to check out more of their stuff, they go check it out at Itch. They also do work for Caves of Cud, which is amazing. I will hopefully be interviewing them at some point soon. I was looking for who my next interviewee would be, so I will drop you a line soon. We've got podcast recording coming up in a couple of weeks. We've got another digital diversity blog coming up next week, and that is for Full Service Shop, which is a very fun, very NSFW interview, but it's going to be lots of fun. So until next time, folks, look after yourselves, look after each other. Remember that you are not alone. Be queer, play games, make the games that make you feel who you are and the stories you want to tell. And I will see all you wonderful folks next time. You have a safe trip. Bye all.